Let's go. I just checked where we stopped last time. But I think the last problem was that we cannot place objects on the ground. And we just fixed another bug related to harvesting trees. Let me check that. Okay, the thing is, right now I don't like the positioning of the trees. I would like that they are in the middle of the square, so it's easier for the player to just place himself on the right tile. So we just go to the tree sprite sheet right here. Open in external program. This way, and okay, let's see how we can do. We kind of want it in the middle of this tile. This one should be in the middle of here. So now we have the, I think this one, and this one. We could just put it more to the top as we have a bit more space there. And I think we also can just do this one a bit, and here. I just copy paste this part. Okay, and we'll just take this one, and this one. Put it right more to the top. I think this is fine. This layout, I kind of like it, but I also don't want to put it yet. Maybe later. I just create a new sprite and save it. Where I'll save it. Right here. All right, back. And then we'll just copy this one from here to here, and then we just create a darker, add and make it a bit darker. Load default palette. We have this green here. Would like to change the outline color. This one to this color. And then we'll just mark this one. Take the brush and we just say reverse shading. And then we just color over the whole tree to create a darker version of this one. So just like this, we save it. And this one will be a bit harder to put it at the right spot. Has to be like here. Even higher. Maybe this way. Let's save it. Maybe it will make it better. Also for the positioning. And we just go here. And when we start the game, I think now the positioning should be way better than before. Okay, yes, this is way better. Yeah, this is perfect. So now the player just has this tree. Maybe this one is a bit too high, to be honest. Maybe I could just adjust it to be like 3 or 4 pixels lower. So we just take the whole trees here and put it this way. Also 1 pixel to the right and save. So let's see. Yeah, so also the maple trees are fine. Okay. Now I would like to keep the functionality that when the player is behind the tree, that this one will be visible. This is something I have no clue yet how exactly I will do it. I need to see what kind of things I can add to a tile. Like what kind of information. So I'll just go to the object tile map layer. This one. And we will just check the custom data layers. We have resource data, resource amount, object type. I would like to add a new one, but we can do it with the rect 2i. But how I can scan that and check if the player's behind in this rect and make the tree disappear when the player's with not disappear but has a less more transparency. Hmm. Um, huh. Like would put a collision layer too. But I think this will also only helps for colliding, but not for check. Like an area 2D. It's more like a body, but not like an area 2D. Huh. With with the shader would be a possible way. The problem is I do not know much about how to use shaders. And with shaders, you cannot just get the position of the player. So you need somehow a combination between GD script and shader. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, can I check? I need a signal, which will be called when the player is entering one of. I mean, when I give the trees a rect, for example, so I'll go to custom data layer, I say transparency area, and I just say it's a rect 2. And I click on tile set, click on this one, say paint, transparency area, and okay, I guess 0, 0 is right here. So I want, oh, mm, okay, let's see. This one is 8 pixel or 16 pixel? 16. So I want it from here to here. When the player's in this area, I want that the tree starts to be transparent. So this one is position 16 and 0. Okay, 16 and 0. 16, 0 is the start position. And then the width from there to here is 64 and 64. This is right. Let's say it's, to keep it simple, we'll just do it for every tree right now. Maybe we can adjust it later. So now we want that when the player is in this area, that modulate will doing this. I guess. I think this will work. So when we say, whoop, it's exactly this what we want. And here we just say transparency color. Or we say transparency modulate. Modulate. And here we just put a color. Oh, yes, we can save a color. So we go to, we just check which one. Maybe we say like, I think this is a bit too much. Maybe 170. This is too less. Let's say 150. I think this is fine. So we have the color 96. So we go to paint, transparency modulate. We just say this color. We just put it everywhere. And now we just want to check the rect tool. Script. I want to check rect tool. What we have there. We have properties, constructors, and methods. Operators. I do not have signals. I need to find a proper way to get the information from the player's position compared to the rect tool without checking it over and over again in the process function. So I need to find a proper way to check it outside of the process function. I think otherwise it will be too heavy. Okay, but I think I have a problem. Is the custom data local to the tile, or is it just like global? So when I change the transparency of one sprite, will it change? I think it will change from every tree. So for the, to keep it simple right now, I just go to global data and I just write it very like, just like in the process. So let's say variable, we have the tile set and the tile map layer equals world dot get here, get node floor tile map layer slash objects tile map layer, and then we have variable. Now I would like to know each current player position. Player dot global position, and then we say tree tiles ist gleich an array, and here we just say first for tile in tile map layer dot get used cells if tile. How I make it to be a tree? I think by source ID. Get used cells. Let's see what we got there. Get used cells is a vector to I array. Get used cells gets used cells by ID. What does it mean? Run tutorial with the positions of all cells containing a tile may be filtered according to their source ID, the atlas coordinates, atlas chords, or alternative ID, alternative tile. Ah, okay, but it would be nice filtered according to their source ID. Oh, okay, I can say source ID. Well, so I'll just use this one, so it's a bit easier, then I need less code. Tile map layer is a tile map layer, so we just can got the whole code. Hello, Dread Devil. Get cell source ID. No, not get used cells by ID, and we have to say this tile set is source is 1. So we just say 1. Tree tiles dot append. Tile. So we got the vector 2i. Hi, how are you doing, Gross? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Actually, I can directly say equals tile. Directly this one. And then we just want to check if the player is one of its get used data. Tile data equals tile map layer dot get cell data, and chords is tile. I'm good too. That's very great. And then we say if tile data dot. So how the progress? It's okay. It's okay. This is how I can get the custom data. Get custom data. Transparency area. Dot has current player position. Wait, I have to calculate the position of the rec tool. Transparency global position. I will just take this one. Tile multiplied by 632. I think this should be Wait, I have to get the XY. I need to get the XY. The position. So actually I think I can say var tile transparency rect is a rect 2 equals this one. And then we say this one. Then we just say tile map layer dot that cell chords tile how I can set the modulate of a tile. Source ID. Let's just pick a random one. So I just say vector 200. So I just do it this way. Cannot find member has and base has point. So when I start it, we should have at least, I mean, I think it will running very, we shouldn't have a position here. So we got an error, yes. Because this one is not existing. So let's see. Load start. Okay, 3 tiles. So timer player not existing yet. Yeah, it's not existing, right? Oh, it is. Get used cells by ID. Why it's not working? On a null value. So this one is not existing. So this one is null. Missing S. Oh, yes. Thank you. That's true. Thank you very much. Floor timer players. Thank you, Andre. Okay. Oops. Another mistake. I'm glad I could help. Okay. Invalid operands vector 2 and vector 2i and operator plus. Okay. Wait. Oh, this position here. Nope. Okay, it seems like not to work. Okay, do a few prints. We are never here, right? You are, wait. Player is in the area of a tree and the transparency should be working. I think changing the sprite is maybe not working yet. Okay, good. So the mistake is not here, maybe here. I would like to see. Oh, yeah, well. I think this was the problem. Expected else after. Okay, let's see. We just worked with rect, which doesn't got changed. So the position was always differently. Okay, value of type vector to I to value of type rect 2. Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay. Rect 2 has properties, right? We have position and size. So we just want to... What was that? I hope nothing serious. We have position and we want to change the position. So, global data. So what we're gonna do is, rather than this one, we just say this here. Invalid assignment of property or key position with value of type vector to I on a base object of... Huh? Invalid assignment of property or key position with value of type vector to I on base object of type rect2. So this one has to be a vector too. Well, it's fine. So we just do this one and we delete this one. Right? I understand you. Just click on it and then start thinking about what it was actually about. So let's see. Nothing is happening. No matter in which tree I'm walking. So why this tree here is transparent? It just makes me thinking for a second that it works. Okay, let me print this one. The time. Oh wait, we also need to... Tile transparency. Rect dot. The size is actually fine. We don't need to adjust the size. Just change the position. So let me check. Print. But I think we got an overflow. Tile transparency rect. Oh wait, maybe we'll not print every. But we have to print every to understand if we do the calculations right. Yeah. Output overflow. 2608, 4160. Is it possible? Probably, yeah. No, it's not. Or may no, it is possible. It is possible. Here are trees. So round about here, there should be some of these trees. Okay, it seems like it's right with at least the position. But the height is not true. So right now it's just a stripe. So it's almost... The size is wrong. The size is wrong. We have to go to the tile map. Tile set. Then we have to go to transparency area. Then we need to say 16. Because we want to start somewhere here. 0. And width is 64. And height is 64. So now we just need to override all. We'll just adjust them later. Save. So now we have actually an area and not just... So let's see. Okay, it's working. As you can see here. Somehow we just set it the area wrong. I would really like to make this rect visible. And I think I can do that by creating a color rect, right? I have a color rect, and the color rect has a position, also is width and height. So what I'm gonna do is simply variable new text new color rect is a color rect, surprise, equals color rect dot new. We just say variable new. No. We say just only new color rect dot position equals tile transparency rect dot position new color rect dot size tile map tile transparency rect dot size, and then we just say add child. Doesn't matter where, we just do it in the world, maybe world, and we say new color rect. So then we have an understanding of where the area is, which the player is just walking in, and we'll understand a bit better what we messed up. And as you can see here, this area is totally wrong. We want it up here. So why the position starts here? This is 16.0. Oh, okay, I got it. The 0 point of this tile is actually here. So 16.0 makes sense, and then 64 down, 64 to the right is right. So, but what we need is... Okay, let's open a sprite. So what we have right now is that this spot here is 0, 0. But we have to be... I want that this one is 0, 0. So where we start with the rect. Or maybe here. So rather than this one is 0, 0, we have to go 16 back. So it's minus 16. Minus 16 would be here. And then we have 16, 32, 64. Okay, minus 16, minus 64 should do the magic. Just close it, and then we just change the tile set. So here we not say 16, we say minus 16 and minus 64, and the rest stays the same. So let's see. Yeah, when we go inside here, it's still not working properly. But at least we're in the middle right now. We just don't go minus 64 to the top. We do not go minus 16 to the top. Tile set. Minus 64. The y-axis is... Why it wasn't working? Okay, maybe... I mean, now it should work, because before, for some random reason, there was 0. Let's see. Load, start. Okay, it's working. The thing is, right now... the thing right now is that, first of all, this one is modulated. So we have to just change it back. But I think we cannot set the modulation of a single tile on a tile map layer. If we would change the modulation, then... Can we modulate a tile? That would be great. Set tile data. Is there nothing like set tile data? So we don't need this one anymore. We can say set cell, but we cannot say set cell data, right? Else we just have to say to make it backwards. But the thing is, does it make sense to create alternative tiles? So that I just go to tile map and create alternative tiles to each tile. And when they are transparent, I'll just change them. And if not, then not. But the biggest problem I have of this whole functionality here is that it's running in the process function and checks this one for like 1 or maybe 3,000 different rects all the time if the player's in this area. And I could filter them out beforehand that, like, if the player's position is within a range of one of the X or Y axis or both, like with distance too. I need a better position for this. Um, Don't you have a tree object in which you can handle this directly in the tree via an area that can be touched? Oh, that's a good point, but that is how I had it before. You know, the problem with this was that I had a tree scene. Maybe I still have it. Tree. Maybe it's this one. Yes. No, it's not. It's the other one. This is the other type of tree. It's this one. And as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes to make this tree running. And the problem was, when you instantiate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 nodes for like 2000 times at the same time, at the beginning it's no problem. It's loading actually fast, it's fine. But the problem is that in the game, here in debugger, prof monitors, at this point, I just load it and show you. Right now I should have like 700 objects, but before, with all these trees, I had 24,000 objects. And when you have PCs which runs not good, I mean, which has like low... Okay, I have 8,000 now. Why it's 8,000 now? Does the rect 2 count from the tile? Actually, I had like 30,000 and that was a big problem as there was areas 2Ds was overlaying other area 2Ds and this had a big, huge impact on process. Have you split your world into chunks or do you load up the whole map at once? At the moment I load up the whole map at once, which I know is also not that good. Oh, but here you can see the amount of nodes is 801, which was before 24,000. So I think now it should be fine. But I have another idea. What happens in process is that the player position is always changing. So I can check for like an area around the player only. Loading maps in chunks is actually a good idea. But I thought that for the size of my map, it's maybe I could do it at some point, but right now it doesn't feel like it's necessary. Maybe later on. I try to just optimize it in a way right now without need to cutting it to chunks. Because let's say you loading the game only in chunks and you have things, for example, like trees which are growing. Then you need to somehow the trees should be growing even the player is not nearby. So I think there would be a way to keep it like, for example, you have a global time, and whenever the player is nearby this tree which you are just growing up right now, it will just recheck the time what the tree had before the player was leaving the chunk, and then recalculate the process by up to when the player is just entering it. But at the moment, I'm fine with this one, but it's also a good, proper solution with chunks. Yeah, therefore, you have to store a time stamp per chunk and fulfill the time when you enter the chunk again. Yes. Exactly, yes. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I only do that with the transparency when the player is moving, and also only for trees which are nearby. Is it better? I think it's better, so I don't check all trees at the same time. But I still have to run it in process. Because the player movement... Oh, the player movement was one of the first things I was writing, so... Yes, the player movement is in process. And I can check for the player's state, if it's walk or run. But then I can make it transparent, but I cannot do backwards. Let's go to global data. The first thing what I'm gonna do now is world. Right here, objects timer layer. We go to the trees, and I think I just create in select, create alternative tile. Can I do it with multiple at the same time? Yes, I can. And then I just say tile map. Zero 6? This one is 3-0. So this one should be 3-0. Okay, alright. Okay. Tile set, custom data. First of all, this one we don't need. We just need this one, and what we need now is rendering modulate, and we just say 96. I think that was what we had before. What is that? Oh, FF96. Now we have transparency, and we just... I mean, actually, we could say now... Rather than vector 0, we say tile. And we say alternative tile 1. And here we say tile and 0. But I think performance-wise, this is not good. But probably it would work. But if it's a best practice, never. Okay. Huh? Tile transparency rect to tile data.custom data transparency area. Why tile data is not existing? I didn't rewrite something here, right? Okay, let's just create a new world. Get custom data on base null instance. So tile data is null. Wait, is it working with the game which is already existing? Or did I got the error all the time? Okay, all the time. What did I do different? I feel like I didn't do anything differently. Transparency area still there. Tile data is null. Tilemap layer dot get cell tile data. Okay, is tilemap layer something? Yeah, it is something. It just cannot find the get cell. It cannot find the tile. Tree tiles we have here. We have get used cells by ID. It's never used in the function process. The tile set Atlas source Atlas has no tile at 5055. Yeah, okay, this is what I got now too. There's no tile at this point. Get cell tile data. But here it clearly says it has. So now I don't got it. Is it just not loading yet? Tree tiles. Get used cells by ID. It's also the first position. The first. I don't get it. Until before it was working. Let me see, what did I change? Up there I didn't change anything. Why it just randomly starts deciding it's not working anymore. And get custom data and base null instance. $73, 122 is not existing. It's your else. You said 0 but ask for 1. I mean, the problem is that we already got the problem right here. But maybe. Thank you. The problem, okay, I got it. I shouldn't say 0 here, I should just leave it blank. There's no alternative tile 0. Set cell to 0, but you use... Ah, okay, it's not tile. Okay, I got it. It's not tile. There's, it has to be something like 1, 2, 3, and so on. Um, can I got the tile set position? Get tile data. Let's see what we get in get tile data. What data we got? Returns the tile data, and tile data has texture origin. Offsets the position. Nope, it's not what I want. I want actually just the vector to I position. Texture origin. I want the position of the tile texture. Oh wow, okay. Uh, hmm. Okay, so it's not that what I want. Global data. Let's back to global data. What I want to put, this one is wrong. It shouldn't be tile. Tile is some random number between that high, but we want to have this position. For example, atlas coordinates 0, 0. Wait, is it just simply atlas coordinates? Get cell atlas coords. Okay. Okay. Copy. Returns the entire atlas coordinates ID of the cell on layer. All right. So this is what we need. Global data. Tile atlas coords. And we need to say tile map layer. All right. And here we just have to write this one and this one. Yeah, I mean, uh, it's always changing and it's changing it back. Tile map. I need tile set. I need to have access on this tile set. Right here. And we need texture origin. Texture origin is 032. So here also. But it's not the best way to handle all of this. And it's really, actually really bad way to handle this. So how I can make this one is not running always in the process. I could make it up to the player's movement. Hmm. Okay, let's see. We'll do something now. Whenever the player is moving from one tile to another, okay, let's do this one not in process. We'll just only do it, for example, um, not check player. How I call it? Yeah, behind tree. We got current player position. So let's do this one void. And we don't need this check anymore. So what we gonna do now is we just go to the player script and we go to the global signal script. I call it signal. Where is it? Signals. Global signals. And we just add a signal which is player move a tile signal. And we got the current player position as a vector. And we just copy this one. And we always call it when the player is moving one more tile. So we right here in process of the player, we just say player move and check. We copy this one and we just put it at the very end. This will be called to void, and we say we need we need to always save a before tile position as a variable in the player, I guess. Okay, we have a variable before tile position as a vector tool. So we also make it a tile, so it's easier for us to calculate. We just go to here and we say if before tile position new tile equals current. And it should be called just once. So if current tile position, so we say position divided by 32. And then we say if is not before tile position, then we just change before tile position to current tile position and we send over the signal dot player moved a tile. Did I save it? Player moved a tile signal and we send over our current position. So we say right here. Oh, we have to say emit dot emit. Right, this one. And we just go to our global script. And now we go to our global data script right here. This one has to be connected. Current player tile position, the vector to I. And we just did I have signals here? Connect signals. just right here, and we just say global signals dot connect player moved a tile with player behind tree, just like this. And whenever the player is moving a tile, it should call this function. So we go to player behind tree, and we just say print, this is a test, and we just say return. So we just want to check if it's really just happened when the player is moving a tile. New game, 1, 2, 3, start. It should be called one time. This is a test. Okay, it's not. Okay. Okay, well. I did something wrong. It's triggering every pixel. And it's still better than before. But I still need to rewrite a bit. It's divided by 32, right? Ah, okay. Well, because the dot position, so we're gonna go to say we make it to a vector 2i. And I think now it would be a bit better. We will have a proper position now. I can also say round, right? Round I. Is round better or make it directly a tile? Vector 2i. Stop, start. Okay, let's see. Load start. I would like to print it only. Not all the time. Just when it's changing. Okay, that is perfect. So now we just print it. I mean, now we just change, emit the signal whenever the player is actually really moving from one tile to another. which is performance-wise much better. So now we want to do another thing. I want to change, not from all trees on the whole map. I just want to change from the trees which are near the player. So the current player position will be the current player tile position. So we just do it this way. Did I use it somewhere else? Nope. Okay, and tree tiles. Shack rect. I'll call this tree shack rect. Rect to. And we say from rect to. Nope. We say position is from the player position, but I need to go minus and X and Y. Okay, so I'll do it differently. I say tree shack rect position, maybe size, and variable tree shack rect position. Actually, I just need the size, so I just say tree shack rect equals. I want to create a rect right now, so which will surround it by the player whenever he's moving a tile. And at this area, it should just check these trees which are within this area. I do not know if it's better or not, because we need a for loop anyways. But this for loop will just iterate over an array of, let's see, variable tree shake rect size. So we say we want to shake within like 6 or 8, let's say 8 tiles. So it's 8 multiplied by 32. So 8 multiplied by 32 is 256. So and now we say rect to position is vector 2 is 3 checked rect size divided by 2 and 3 check rect. And here we say this way. This one. Now we just need to say for tile in 3 tiles equals get used cells by ID 1. Nope, this we'll do differently. For tile, for use tile in if dot has point used tile, only then we say 3 tiles dot append used tile. And then we should just check by the surrounding trees of the player. Okay, we shouldn't return here when we want it work properly. Okay, we got an error. Invalid operands, vector 2i and vector 2 in operator plus. Then we make it in vector 2i. So start. Okay, it's not working properly, but it's no problem. Feel like somehow it has something to do with this. Let me just check something. Right now we'll do it with every tree to just check if the function is work in general. Nope. Oh, wait. Of course, it's not working. Mm-hmm. It's still not working. Okay. Okay, let's try again. A silhouette would be easier, wouldn't it? A silhouette wouldn't. Amazing. It's working now, but the problem is right now that it only count this point. But it's not what we want, so we need to give the right position just over with the... So the only thing what we need to change is this one. Yeah, because you can use a shader, you don't have to shake trees at all. You can fake a second sprite. Because you can use a shader, you don't have to shake trees at all. You can fake a second sprite. Yeah, of course, you can use a shader, but the problem is I have no clue how shader is working properly. So I try to avoid them at most as I can. And I know I think that shaders are the best way to have a performant solution. So I'll just give the real position here. And the real position is in global signals, not, it is a vector too, so which is fine. So we go back to global data. Yes, I agree with you. For performance reasons, shader would of course be best, but hey, your approach seems to be working for now. I'm happy for you. Thank you. As we got a vector 2 right now here, we just don't need to multiply it. And I think it should work still properly, but now we have it a bit better because we have the right player position. Okay, because of the vector 2 thing. This variable we need later, not right now. Soon. Maybe I will check the FPS drop the moment I just enter a tree. Ah. Okay. Something is still not working properly here. Current player tile position. Current player position. Debug rect equals as a color rect. Dot position equals dot position debug rect dot size equals dot size at world dot add child debug rect. I think the positioning should be fine, but the problem is somehow we don't. Did we emit the signal too early? It should be already emitted at this point. Oh, why it should? If I want this, okay, I see the struggle. I could expand it to here, but why I want that the tree is already transparent when the player's here. Right now, effective, I use just one tile to check this position. Actually, I use just this tile here to display, to just check the player's position rather than the whole square. I could expand it when I say, okay, oops, here was a pixel, what a mess. Rather than checking just this 64 pixels here, I'll check this one here. But then I check actually every 32 pixel, or I could cut it in a half and check the player's position every 16 pixels. Then I would be able to do that, but then I have the double amount of signal calls. So when I say for player movement check divided by 16, then I think we should have a proper working displaying of the transparency or not transparency function. When we start the game again, and we just go here behind this tree, it's work. Huh? Working? Not working. Working? Not working. Why it's like an if else? Why it's like on off? Working? Not working. Working? Not working. This I don't got. Huh? Why this wood doing it? Did I miss something? Wait, when do I call this function? Now? Huh? Why it's like off and off? Not off and off. On and off. On. Wait. On. Off. Why it's off now? Aren't you checking the tiles? There are no half tiles. I guess that's the reason. No, I don't. Actually, I don't check for tiles here. I just divide the number of the players' position by 32 to make a vector 2i. Wait, same issue with 32. Ah, maybe that's the point. Wait. You give me an idea. Touch transparency dot rect. No, it's just checking the rect of the tile. So the rect, which is actually the white part, which will be created whenever the player is moving inside for the first time. Tile transparency rect. Tile data.custom data transparency area. Tile transparency rect.position plus. Why I changed the position? Sometimes I should comment the code I'm writing that I understand them just like 10 minutes later. Why I was changing the position here? Generate dot position plus vector 2 tile multiplied by 32. Okay, I got it. I know why. Did I? Yes, I know why. Because then I have the real position of on the real map. Okay, that makes sense. Then I check for has point, the current player position. Makes sense. But then I change to be the alternative tile, the first alternative tile of this tile. And it's doing it. Otherwise, it will just set the tile to the normal tile, to the normal tile texture. So here I am because of no reason. Print has point. It should print us has point. In both cases. No matter if I'm here, has point, or here, it should have printed has point. Has point. Did I miss something? Player position. Tile transparent tile. Let's say tree rect. Tile transparency rect. And then we print. Yeah, just these two things. Wait, let's print this one only from the tree. Yeah. So that we have both just one time at the end. Not multiple times. Okay, let's print this one not here. We'll print it here. But when I compare this one from before and this one, oh, it is not inside. Okay, let's go inside. Tree rack 2512 40 96 and then 64 by 64. It's actually this one, right? Okay, it's still inside. Why it's not properly? Okay, I'll be right back in a second. Okay, right back. Well, yeah, why this position? Actually, I should print current. Oh, I do. Why this position? Why they say it's not in the current position? This one, 64 on top, it's still inside. 64 on top, it's still inside. This actually doesn't make sense. What can I do? If tile transparency rec dot has point current player position, it shouldn't change it. Let me check. Yeah. Um, let's try it this way. Okay, we cannot duplicate. This way? Maybe we just create a copy of this. Okay, this seems to be not the problem. We have the two-player position, 2738 and 4096. But both... No. No. Oh yeah, they are. Both are still in the same rect. They should be still inside. This doesn't make sense that we always inside, not inside, inside, not inside, inside, not inside. This doesn't make sense for me because the player is still inside all the time. Why it is doing it? Oh. Hmm. I can't imagine why it's not working. I mean, we just check for has point, and it should has this point. And it's not like that the player is moving too fast. That it would make a difference if I run or walk, it's the same issue. Hmm. Hello, Johann Reinhardt. Welcome. Just a moment. Okay, whatever. It's not working. I don't get it. On, off, on, off, on, off. Even I'm still inside this rect. Wait, when it's printing just every second tile, even when I'm inside. I don't have a proper explanation for this behavior. So let's see. Inside. And the position is still the same. And the player's position should be here. How I can mark the player position. Can I draw a dot at this point? Maybe I'll do it by debug rect, color rect. Okay. Player debug rect, and we say player debug rect dot position equals current player position player debug rect dot color equals color dot black, and we say player debug rect dot size equals, let's say, vector to, and we set it to like 5 pixels and 5 pixels. Maybe it's a bit big. Let's say 3 pixels and 3 pixels. And we say add child world dot add child player debug rect. Okay, and we also say the position. Let's say 4 and 4. Minus vector 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. So it will display us the middle point of the player's position when the player is entering this area. I mean, I feel like, in any case, the player is within this rect. try it here, but we take another color. Let's say color is green or like yellow. Yellow, green. Start. Yeah. It should just create it in the else with green. And here it should be black, but it's always creating. Tile transparency rect dot position plus vector 2 tile multiplied by 32. You mean this one? This here is actually just because the one tile here is 32 pixels. And that we have a proper position compared to the world. The tile, for example, has a position of, okay, let's say this one here is tile number 00. And when I want to have the proper position of this area here, this here would be the tile position 1, 1. But I want to be at this point in the real, with the real pixel vector. So this one is the position 32 and 32 because one tile in my world is 32. That's why this 32 is right here. But for some reason, what I just figured out is that it's overwriting. I'll show you. It's always overwriting with else, no matter what. So no matter if it's true or not, it's always green. That means there's another one on top. But is there another place where you check for 32 instead of 96? Yeah, the player position, for example. But the problem is actually this. That on the same tile, it's calling this color one time and this color, no matter what. It's calling it twice. But why? It's creating two. Wait, I have to check if it's really creating two. So you're loading it. Let's take this one. One. And now let's see if in this situation it was creating two. So we go to remote world and we have a lot of childs here. Why we already have that many color acts here? Oh, because it's creating for each tile. It's creating it for each tree at the player position, so it doesn't make sense. So this is not the problem. I could actually, when I do this one once. Oh no. There will be a situation where the player is running into 2 trees. Okay. Before I'll debug this function, I'll just try to create an array with trees which are just around the player and not every tree in the whole map. So we just do this for loop here. We say if tree shack erect, and this one I'll just delete now. And this one I'll just do here for a moment. If I write it right. Okay, it seems to be wrong. Okay, current player position plus 3 shack rect size minus. Should be minus. Okay, this seems to be alright. And we say first tree tiles dot clear. Use tile and timer player dot get used cells by ID if tree shack rect dot has point used tile. Okay, I hope it's not empty right now. It's always empty. So I did something wrong with this one. Has point is not properly working. Nope. Huh. It's always empty. Last point. Returns true if the bounding box contains. Oh, this is 3D. Rec 2 has point. Oh. I see. I know what I did wrong here. And debugger, visual profiler, monitors. Where's our FPS? 177, and let's move. No FPS drop. Okay, it's working properly. Half. It's working properly. It's working half properly. The only problem right now is still the bug what we had before. Is there a difference between vector 2 tile multiplied by 32? Meta. Thank you very much for following. Thank you very much. Is there a difference between vector 2 tile multiplied by 32 and vector 2 tile multiplied by 32? Nope, there's no difference. The reason why I write it here this way is that tile is a vector 2i. Hey, what's up, Gross? How's your game? Hello, Kelso. It's going forward, I would say. I just run into another bug, like always. But it's doing progress. I just try to optimize the performance of the game a bit. And I'm still on to... I mean, I'm creating right now a function that when you are behind the trees, that they'll be transparent with tile map. But the only problem is that I have this problem right now, that when you enter it and you'd still be inside, it's changed the transparency. This way it's doing it right, and now not anymore. It's just changing it back for some random reason. The good thing is I'm just updating the trees around the player. Not every tree on the map anymore. And the performance is not dropping with this. The FPS. You're not using area 2D for tree? Nope. I was using it before, but then I had like 24,000 nodes in my tree. Right now I'm happy that I have just 800 nodes in my tree. So I just reduced the amount of nodes from 24,000 to 800, and I have the same functionalities, and it just increases the performance by a lot. I have a constant FPS of 180, which is fine. Before I had FPS dropping every time the player's moving or something happened. I never managed to have more than 20 FPS. And right now I have very stable FPS with one timer player and just 800 nodes on the map and not 24,000. Just this is the problem right now. I see. Maybe it's okay to have much nodes as long as you have different collision mask and layer. The problem is, as I know, is that when one collision layer, like just imagine my hands are collision layers, like this is an area 2D and this is an area 2D, and both are able to scan each other and they are just laying on top of each other. And when this happens in an instantiation, for example, at the beginning of a game, it will cost a lot of performance. So the moment when I instantiate 10,000 objects on the map, and this happens that one area lays on another, it just makes the game start like it needs like 2 or 3 minutes until the game is starting, and it always has to scan the collisions all the time. But as long as the amount of nodes is not bother the performance of your game, you can have as much as you want. But when you find a solution to do it with less nodes, then I would always go this way, because it's better for make your game playable on computer which has low specs. Do your mask and layer have the same number? Actually, I don't work with an area 2D. So what I'm doing is I have a rect tool at the moment, which is I just show it here. This rect tool covered this area of a tree and is saved in the tiles set. On this tile, I have a rect tool which will be covered in this area. And whenever the player is moving from one tile to another, from here to here, it will just send a signal, okay, the player is moving one tile. And then it checks, okay, is the player's current position, for example, right here, is within this area, which I just marked here. And if this is the case, then the transparency of this tree will be changing or not. This is how I have the solution right now. But the problem is when the player, at the moment, my problem is when the player is moving from this tile right here to this tile right here, the transparency is changing here to be 50%. But when he is moving here, it should stay at 50%, but it's changing back to 100%. So that is the bug I'm facing right now, and I do not know what I can do for this. Just a moment. Just a second. Oh, looks beautiful. What is the game about? It's a farming RPG. I mean, it's a farming RPG with a bit of you can automate your production later on. For example, people say that it's a farming RPG with factorial parts, but I always compare it with like you can create machine chains, for example, like in Minecraft, for example. So you can put from items in one machine, it will process them to another item, and this item will be stored in your storage system or whatever you are building. And you can do it with a lot of things. You can even harvesting trees and fruits with these functionalities with these machines. And yeah, but the main part is about similar to a farming RPG. Farming and chilling and harvesting stuff, decorate your garden, decorate your house, interact with NPCs, maybe also solving a few quests for the NPCs, but this part I didn't cover properly yet. I'm about to just create the map at the moment. No worries, this grid is just for debugging reason. It's not there because they'll be visible later on the game. And yeah, that is somehow what I'm doing at the moment. Just debugging the game. And creating a proper map. Before the map I didn't like that much, so I just created this map. And I still need to fill a few empty spaces. This will be just filled with like trees and objects and stuff, but maybe there will be like more animals or decoration, like I have no clue. More houses. We'll see what I'll do. Debugger error ready not found 9 patch rect margin container vbox container. Alright, if you don't find it, just hide it. Right? Okay, looks cool. I wishlist it. Thank you very much. By the way, I still need to update the Steam page. That would be also something what I need to do in near future. Maybe like next week. So why it's still changing the transparency, even the player is still within this rect? Why it's still changing it? What can I do that this is not happen? This is alright. Is it? I mean, did I always change the position every time? No, it's still the same, right? Tile transparency rect dot position. But how I figured out? Wait, it can't be that hard. Because we have just like 2 or 3 trees around the player. Okay. Let's see. Load start. Maybe I'll go to a place where we have just one tree. Wait. 2000. 4992. It's I adding? Yeah, it's okay. It's there are 2 trees at the moment. I'll just chop them down so I have a better overview. Also, I'll chop this down. But as you can see here, there's a difference. I add 60. Huh? 2688 will change to 2067, 2672, and 4928 will change to 4992. So there I'll add 464, and there I add 16. Just a moment. I think I found the problem. I'll be right back. Just a moment. Okay, right back. I think the problem is that the area which will scan will always be like moving whenever I move with the player, which is not that what I want. So to check this one, can I just, I mean, actually I create a new one when I'm doing this, right? It should be always the same as I don't add something new. So let's see, load, start. So we'll just chop down a few trees. We'll just take the X. Go down to the place where are less trees, but here actually a lot. We chop down this one, we chop down this one. Okay, now we should have just one tree. The tree rect position always changing. Okay, let me do in this one. Variable new rect equals texture, not texture rect, it's color rect. Equals color rect dot new. We say new rect dot position equals tile transparency rect dot position. We say new rect dot size equals is tile transparency rect dot size. Then we say new rect dot name equals debug name world dot add child new rect. So then we say here for loop for child in world dot get children if child. Oh wait, we just make it simpler. World dot get node debug name dot q3. So when we did everything all right, we should have with every movement within a rect. Wait, within a rect? No, not within a rect, but wait. Dot has node. Or let's make it a bit easier. For node in world dot get children. If node is color rect node dot q3. So we delete all color rects. Will help when we have multiple trees. Yeah, wait, I'll chop down some trees. Yeah, just doing it for the first tree. It's not existing. Huh? Okay, wait. And position and size. Something is weird here, and I do not know what. Well, let's see. Why size is 0, 0? Why the size is changing to 0, 0 every time? I mean, this is the problem, but I know why this is happening. I know exactly why this is happening. This has nothing to do if this is a copy. This has nothing to do with this one, and also not this one. And also the code is working properly. The only problem is that I didn't set up the tile map layer properly. So I have to go to the tile set. I have to go to, let's say select first this one. We go to transparency area. Let's select this one. Custom data, transparency, minus 16, 64, 64, 64. So we go to minus 16, minus 64, 64, and 64. Now we just need to set the alternative tiles also, otherwise it won't work properly. And when we do it now, it will not just changing when the transparency is changing. And when so as long as we are behind this tree now, it will remains transparent. And am I missing something? Did I set something wrong here? Oh yes, I did. We say select. Modulate. Save it, start it, and let's see. I think everything is working properly now. We have the transparency when the player's behind without needing an area 2D. Which is great. So now we just need to see on the tile map, file new, that we set the rects properly. You solve your problem, man. Yes, I did. The problem was that from the half transparency tile, the area which will check if the player's inside or not has a size of 0, 0. So it was like at this point, but the size was just like 0, 0. I just forgot to create a rect at the alternative tile which stores the half transparency one. And give it a proper size. That was the only problem. So it was just, I forgot to give the tile data. So here I want this area. I'll just create a new layer, which will be okay. Here I want also this. For this one, I would like. Wait, I need view, grid settings. All right, and here I would like to have at least this area. Or do I want this area? This is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, this one then. And here I also want a lot. I want this area. The same. So it's not 64 in the height. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is fine. So we say width is still 64, but height is 64, 64. 64, 72 for at least this two type of trees. So I go to tile set. I say select. Paint. Transparent area. And rather than here, I say 72. And I set it for each tree like here. And also here, except birches. This one, this one. This one, this one. And this one, this one. So we save this, we start this, and we shake it. Start. And we are behind this tree. Okay, it's working properly, but I think I just find out that we can't do that with the 8 pixels. It will be always the same. I mean, it's working for running outside, but not inside. Because for this 8 pixels, there's no tile change. There's just a position change, but not a proper tile position. Position on player tile change. Okay, something else, what I forgot for the trees. The trees are working the way how they was working before, and nothing is missing. Even the transparency, what I thought I wouldn't add, I also added. And the performance is not even drop, and the FPS is not even drop at this point. So I think the next problem what we have, it's actually a bigger problem. As you can see here, we can't place objects anymore. So this is something what we will start today, but I'm pretty sure we can't finish it today. But this is fine. Thanks for following on YouTube. Thank you very much. Okay, I think I need a new function which will handle the placing objects. This beforehand, I like it that you can place multiple objects at the same time, which will save the player a lot of nerves when he is planting plants, and he don't want to click 1,000 tiles at the over and over again. That he can just drag, drop. Press, release the button, the left mouse button, and everything in between will be planted when he has enough seeds. But I just figured out this is very, very heavy. And I think right now, maybe it's also better than rather the player is planting a new object to the world. He is just changing a tile. But I need to testing something. And this I'll do in a test game. And this one. Just a moment. Testing tile. Okay, we have a proper game right here. So we create just a tile map at the child, which will act like the tile map for the plants the player is planting on the map. And here we just create, have tiles. Yes, we have this one, for example. So we just create a new tile set. This tile set will be this one. We just put floor tiles. Yes, we want, but not 16 by 16. Maybe this was a mistake. We want, actually, it doesn't matter. So let's say we have tiles on our tile map, which are bigger than just one tile. Like in this, maybe we do it in the original size, so we won't have problems later on. Oh, I'll just delete this one, add new, and yes, we want 32 by 32 properly, yay. And we'll go to this part, select, and we just make it bigger. This one is 32 by 32, and this one is, delete this one, and this one we make 64 by 64. Open an external program to make it visual, better visible. We have this one. And let's say we have this one. And we have this one. Save it. So we have 3 tiles. One 32 by 32, the other 32 by 64, and the other 64 by 64. So when we say here, the texture origin is minus 32. Wait, y 0 and here's 32. So the texture origin should be here. No, here 0 and here 16, minus 16. This place and here. Okay, the best thing is that I always set the origin to the left upper corner, right? Or does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. So when we have this one right now, we have Atlas coordinate 0, 0. This one is 0, 1. And this one is 0, 3. But when we have a tile map, and I put this one at this place, and I put this one here, and I put this one here. I want to create a script. This one is testing tile maps, and we just say ready. For tile in, let's say this one is access as unique name. And what is the problem here? This one is tile map. We need to change type to tile map layer. Change. Okay, and then we say %tile map dot get used cells. Print tile. We want to drawing here first this one, this one, this one. So let's see what we got here. We started. We have 0, 0, 0, 1 and 2, 0. 0, 0, 0, 1 and 2, 0. which is actually not good. Because they are using just one cell. I would like that this one is using 2 cells. Hmm. Because the thing is, when the player is harvesting later on things, for example, a bush, and the bush has this size. I want that the player can clicking here or here without any problem. Just a moment. Uh, okay. Maybe, I mean, I can get the real size of a tile. Tile. Get tile size in Atlas. Returns the size of the tile in the grid coordinate system at coordinates Atlas chords. Okay, let me check that. So we just say tile set Atlas source. So rather than printing just the tile, I say person tile map dot get source get cell source ID. I say tile. Then I say dot get tile size in Atlas. Non-existing function get tile size in Atlas and base int. tile set dot get source dot get tile size in Atlas. Non-existing function. Function get cell source ID not found in base self. Tilemap dot get cell source ID. So let's see. Should got 3 prints. This is tile set Atlas source. And then I need to get expected 1 argument. And this argument should be Atlas code. This one. Let's see. Okay, this is actually what I need. So we have at least the sizes of each tile. Of this one, this one, this one, this one, and... Huh. But how I can make that the player... can harvesting them. And right now the player can harvesting them by clicking them anyway. Oh. Can I click on tiles? Like when I set in tile map? And I set a collision. Changed. What can I do? How I can make this properly? I would like that this tile would use 2 tiles. But this one feels a bit weird for me. Okay, what if I do the same thing what I had with my rect? So when I have a rect2, I'll just create a rect2, say tile. I'll go to the tile map, inspector, tile set, resource custom data layer. I say here rect2, print mouse clickable area. Just this way. And when I have here input, if event.is action pressed, mouse left, we will say click tile, func click tile. We'll just send through the mouse position, this one, and we say clicked position as a vector 2, and we say if used cells equals person tilemap layer, a person tilemap dot get used cells or used cells in used cells. We say if used cell dot get custom data. Then we need this, what we had here. We say this one dot has clicked position. Then we say print used cell dot get custom data name tile name, or let's say tile name, comma, what, get So let's say get clicked. And that's it. So what we gonna do now is we go to the tile map, tile set. We go to paint, say mouse clickable area, 0, width is 64 and this is 32. This one is 64 and 64. And this one is 32 by 32. And now we just say name, tile, name is string. So we say tile name, this one is purple, green, purple, light, or whatever. So let's see. Oh wait, maybe we make it a bit better. This one is 64 by 32. This one is 64 by 64. And this one is 32 by 32. So when we start the game, non-existing function get custom data and base vector 2i. Get cell. I think it's this one. Has and base rect 2. Has point. Valid access to property or key used cell on base object of type tile data. Get custom data. Alright. Let's see. Something seems to be not alright. I feel like the tile set is not set it properly. So when I go to select custom data, width 64, height 32. Seems to be okay. If the texture origin is here. But I think it's not. So 0 is here and then it's just like overlapping, I think. So what I have to do is to say minus 16 by minus 16. With 64, 32. Something seems to be wrong. Oh. Yeah, I know what is the problem. We compared just. We need to make the tile actually also on the right place on the map. So we need to say area equals or rect2. I need the real position, so let's check what I did here. Here. All right. Now, let's see. Oh, wait, I have to copy this one. Paste it here. And now it should work. Nope, I still think there's still a mistake. And I think it's somehow connected with this one. So let's see. Yes, it is. So now, when I set it this way, hey Gross, how's it going? Working hard or hardly working? Hardly working on working hard. How are you doing that, Hunter? 0, 0. So actually now this click function works, and when we just add new tiles to the tile map. Wait, this shouldn't be possible. So start. Good man, working too hard. So this is 64 by 32, 64 by 64, 64. Now we can click tiles by and make them harvestingable. Harvest. The player can harvest them by just clicking on the tile. I'll solve it also with a rect tool. Is a rect tool heavy for calculating? I think the only problem from this code is get used cells. The rest seems to be fine. Get used cells every time I click something seems to be heavy. I could store them, but I could store them at the start of the game. Whenever the player is deleting one object or add one, then I'll add them to an array. But is it not the same? I mean, is it not the same for checking an array for a vector 2 than when I get used cells? I could also not use get used cells. I can just check if the player is clicking on some tile. So like, okay, here 3 tiles. Okay, here I actually did do the same, and it doesn't feels like it's too heavy. And I iterate over hundreds, thousands of tiles which are filled with which is a used tile. Um okay, but I think I have a proper way to check this. To get used cells every time the player is clicking with the mouse button on I mean with the left mouse button shouldn't be that big problem, I guess. I mean, when I go to testing tile map, I go to the 2D world, I say tile map, I take the smallest one, I take this one, Okay, why it's calculating that much? So we have this game now. I do not know how many tiles I was filling. We go to tile set. We go to debugger. Monitors. Print less. Okay, I have to go now. Thank you very much for the stream. I really enjoyed it. See you next time. Okay, thank you for joining. And yeah, hopefully see you next time on Wednesday. Actually, that was also it for me today. If you like the stream, then you just can follow me on Twitch or YouTube. Just wishlist also my game on Steam. This will also help me a lot. Here's the link to the game. If you want to support me, you can do it. That will help me a lot. And I wish you everyone have a great day or whatever time it is where you are right now, like day and night. And hopefully see you on Wednesday. Take care, everyone.